Welcome. I'm Donna Dewberry. Welcome to Relax and Paint. And this morning we're going to work on a relaxing, fun little project. So what I'm going to do is we're using multi-surface paint. This is Folk Art multi-surface. It's got a sealer in it and lots of different bright, vivid colors. And there's so many colors. I'm going to tell you those as I'm using them, and floating medium. And what I'm also using are my green handle one stroke brushes, and they say Donna Dewberry one stroke right on the handle. Okay, and that's going to help you be able to have all the brushes in one pack. It's very inexpensive. It's less than $20 for 10 brushes. Okay, and they're good brushes for what we're doing. All right, so you can use chalk or a pencil. First thing I want to do is draw our hummingbird head. So we're going to come across here and come down, and his body comes down here to where the tail's going to be. All right, then we're going to come here and go in for the beak and then out, so it's like a V right there. All right, so then we're just going to smooth to here. All right, and then come up to here. That's a hummingbird beak. Okay, I want to take this off so you can see that that's the V that's inside the head. So now what's going to happen, excuse my thumb, and an accident. Okay, so we're going to come down along here and give us a tummy, and then come down to the tail. Okay, so the head's not a ball. You can come up with a little bit higher little piece of head there. This goes in a little bit, and then right where that neck would be is a little bit of some wing. Okay, and we're going to come down here in the body, and so this wing is going to be a little bit, just miss that, but it's going to be on the front side. Okay, so we're going to come here and down the body some. We're going to put that wing. So if you erase that, you're going to see. Okay, so this is like a V into the tail. And what you're going to see is that we're going to have some tail feathers. All right, we'll come back later and put an eye in here. Okay, as we're working. And then we're just going to put some flowers over here. So I'm going to do the bird first, and then we'll come and add our flowers. Okay, now I'm going to pick up and get a little bit. I dampen my flat brushes first, and this is an 8. I'm going to pick up a little bit of wicker white with licorice to get some gray tones. Okay, so the first thing I did was I'm going to pick this up and take a little bit of gray into the beak. All right, and so we're definitely going to put gray under the eye and some on this upper part. There we go. Got a little bit of shake this morning. See under the cheek a little bit. All right, and we do have some darker color at the tip of the beak. Okay, and then the same thing happens, a little bit more white, and this is going to be a little bit more gray back here. All right, and we'll put some colors on top of that a little bit later too. All right, so when I'm doing this bird, I'm going to come down the hummingbird and put a little bit more gray tones here. Now look, I'm going to dip a teeny bit of medium and then pick this up, because I want this paper's a little dry. Some of the paper, this is an art paper, and they just come in art pads. Some of the pads are smooth, and those will do an easier stroke for you. But I've used up all my smooth, so So today I thought I'd just pick this up. All right. So it's already black, so that's kind of a nice background too. But I'm going to take and add a little bit of the gray for the tail feathers. All right. And because we have this black in the background, just a little bit of this gray peeping through. And see, I'm on the chisel. And you can see I'm not trying to make it perfect or anything because we're going to put strokes over it. All right. So we're just kind of getting a base. All right. So a couple of things that are going to happen here is I'm going to pick up a little bit. That was licorice and white. Now I'm going to pick up a little citrus green. And I'm just going to come in this back area and chisel a little bit of this down the back here. All right. And on this front wing, okay. And the citrus kind of comes down in here. We'll put some other colors in there. And then back in this area, we're going to put a little bit of citrus in here. And I'm going to put some citrus in the flowers. There we go. All right. And I do have a little bit, some colors you can come afterwards, but and sometimes their tail feathers fan out a lot. Okay. So I'm going to pick up little bits. You can do a little bit of pink melon, a little bit of magenta. And I'm going to come right in here. Make it kind of curved. And into the green a little bit. All right. So let's see. I did do a little bit of this right here, pink melon and magenta. All right. Okay, we're going to come down along in here and add this magenta and pink melon along here on the chisel on this edge. Pretty simple so far, right? Those are good colors though. Okay, so while I'm there, I'm going to grab some white because it's wet. See, grab pink melon and some white. Got some magenta and some white. See how pretty? And I'm random. I'm not absolutely perfect. Like we try to line all the feathers up like in a row usually. I'm not doing that if you noticed. Okay. Got a bright. Isn't that nice? And then I am going to just take a little bit of pink magenta down here a little bit. All right, before we do anything else, we need to put some of this cobalt. Now the cobalt I brought down right in the face here and down to the breast a little bit. All right. Okay. I'm kind of laying that brush down to get some of those colors in here. Now look, I can pick up aqua now. And aqua is going to come right in here. So that was cobalt blue, you. And then we're going to come in here with aqua. Look, I'm scooping down and up. You see that? Now I'm going to put a little teeny bit of licorice on one edge and then grab the teal. And we're going to go from down here and work up. So then all I have to do is I already got licorice. All I have to do is keep picking up aqua. And I don't know if you notice, watch how often I go pick up the paint. So the bird's the fancy part. You can add a few flowers just for prettiness. All right, so see, there you go. So now I'm going to wipe that off my brush a little bit and just pick up a little bit of teal with white. Okay, so we're going to come all in here. These are just to mimic feathers, okay? I'm going to put some all along here. There you go. So see, we're just getting all kinds of little feathers on there. Now I'm even going to go down to a 2. There's a 6 and a 2. But I'm going to go to a 2. And the first thing I'm going to do is put a little bit of, I'm going to put some pink melon down in here. But I'm also flattening that brush out. I'm going to get some right in here. So see, I'm laying not on the chisel, but I'm kind of laying on the side for the pink melon. A little bit more on the chisel right there. And then put some magenta right here. Okay. A little bit more. All right. So what happens here is that I brought some of this magenta and pink melon in here. But now I wipe that and I'm going to pick up white. Okay, so we're just going to come in here and we're just going to side stroke the wicker white. Okay, we're going to do a little bit. All right, and then down here, we're going to get a little bit of white. And all we're going to do is pull a row of magenta and white in here. See, look how pretty that makes that. We're also going to come up here. Okay. So I can go a little bit more in here. Okay. And I have gray here, but I'm just going to also do just from the eye into here a little bit of licorice. Okay. Okay. Now I'm going to take the handle of this brush and I'm going to give it a black eye. That sounds bad. I'm giving it a black eye. And I will come back later with a little bit of white on that. And when I pick up a little bit of gray with the white, I can put little bits of highlight in here. Now, what's nice about using art paper is it's really easy to put in a ready-made frame. Okay, now I'm going to come around a little bit of a highlight around the top of the eye. Okay, and I can wipe this off and side load a little bit of white on the 2 flat and come around here slightly. Okay. And I've got that shake I told you this morning, but I am going to just try to dot really carefully. A little dot in the eye. There you go. And then I'm going to just pick up plain white because sometimes they have these pretty feathers along in here. Okay. Like how pretty he becomes. So I can just, could be a she, but usually pretty colors on animals are for the male. All right, a little bit of white here. A little bit of white there. And you guys see that I did more white along here. Okay, I did put a little bit of white accent right in here. Okay. So we had that little bit of white along here. A little bit of white in the wings. A little bit of white here and there into our piece. And I'm going to pick up a little bit of aqua and give a highlight on this back of this wing. All right. Let's put a little bit of cobalt in there too. There we go. So, and you know, you can bring a little bit of blues in here. All right, isn't he kind of pretty? Oh, I'm going to just put little bits of the licorice back in here. Okay, just a little bit here and there. I think that pulls it all into the rest of the body. Okay. Oops, and then we'll just put a little bit back in here. There we go. All right, guys. You usually don't see the tail feathers too much. I mean, the talons, his little feet hanging. All right, so what I want to do is let's put in a couple pretty flowers, but to get started, I want some citrus and sap, a little bit of medium. And I've got an 8 flat. So I want to come down here. I'll put a couple flowers in here. And I'll just make it kind of fun. All right, so I'm gonna push and lift. Let's grab a little bit of aqua in here. See how that pulls it right into the flower? Wasn't that hummingbird fun? I can't wait for you to tell me how you liked it. So just that little bit of aqua really kind of adds to our piece. All right, so I am going to grab some little bit of gray, licorice to make gray and white. Okay, so we're gonna take and just be up on the chisel. It's not a daisy, it could look a little bit more like a chrysanthemum. So see that? So we can have this any color you want, so you don't have to use white. All right. And I can put some little highlights of citrus in here. Just a little bit in there. Let's get pure white in here. There you go. Okay, just a little bit of center. All right, so let's pick up some white and magenta. All right, so now can do a fun daisy look. Sometimes people say, "What flower is that?" And I said, "I don't know, I just made it up." Okay, so we can take and dot with our handle, which already had citrus on it, some licorice in here. Okay. I can set a little bit of licorice to get the center of that flower a little bit. There we go. Okay, and so we can do those kind of know nothing roses here, where I am going to use magenta and some pink melon with some white. All right, so we're going to come here. Okay, a little bit more white. So we can come around here. Let's get some of that color together. And now we're up on the chisel. Just do a couple chisel strokes around. All right. And then I can pick up some violet pansy. All right. So with the violet pansy, it's got some pink in it too. And we're just doing chisel edge strokes. All right. So we have just a little bit of flower that comes out of here. Get a little bit more white. So I hope you have a good day, that you think about painting. If you haven't joined our membership, it's $10 a month and you get 4 lessons for that. There's other options, but once a week usually is when I try to do the lessons. Okay, so there you are. That gives a little bit of action to the hummingbird, and a little bit of fun for you to create and learn how to do that hummingbird. Thank you guys.